Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I clean my bathroom. So the first thing I do is vacuum the floor, and then I move on to spraying down the base of the shower and then the bathtub. And while that's soaking in, I move on to cleaning my counter and the sinks and then the toilet, and then I do the floors. So I'm going to share with you the cleaning products that we're going to be using today, and then we'll get started. So I have the Lysol disinfecting wipes. I'm going to be using Kaboom to clean my shower and my tub. I typically do this clean every other week, and I alternate between Kaboom and then the Clorox foamer. So since last time I used the Clorox foamer, today we're going to use the Kaboom. And with the Kaboom, I like to use the magic eraser to scrub. I find this combo works really nice. Now I don't think that I'll be needing a whole sponge today, so what I like to do is just cut that right in half so that I can use the other half of the sponge either in another bathroom or the next time I clean. So I always like to put on a pair of gloves. I get these ones from Costco. They're just the Kirkland brand. And I also like to wear a mask when I'm working with harsher chemicals like bleach in the tub. And this mask is by 3M. I will link it down below. Okay, so let's get started with the shower and the tubs. Okay, so I'm gonna just spray down the entire tub with this Kaboom. And I always wear like either water shoes or a pair of flip-flops with non-slip soles. And you always want to make sure you're wearing something on your feet to protect them from the chemicals. So I'm going to let the Kaboom soak in the tub and the shower for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to move on to cleaning the countertops, the sinks, the toilet. Since I already vacuumed, I'm going to use the Swiffer Sweeper wet mop to clean the floors. And I'm going to start off by using my all-purpose disinfectant spray. This is just a couple drops of Palmolive's Antibacterial soap, and then I just filled it up with water. Spray down my counters and the sink. I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes, and I'm gonna work on the mirror. For the mirror today, I'm gonna be using, this is 70% rubbing alcohol mixed in with some water. I typically either use the alcohol or I'll use vinegar to clean my glass. They both work really well. And then I like to use a microfiber cleaning cloth so that it doesn't leave behind like that paper towel residue. Okay, so now that the glass is clean, it's been a couple of minutes since the sinks kind of have soaked. I'm gonna go ahead and take some paper towels and clean out the inside of the sinks. I like to follow up on the sinks with a Lysol disinfectant wipe to just kind of give it a good scrub. Okay, now moving on to wiping down the counters. My counters are granite, so I do really like to use the all-purpose disinfectant spray on them, just like I use downstairs in the kitchen. I just think that it works really well. It cleans it, it doesn't leave any residue, and it's safe to use on the stone, so it's not gonna ruin it. You don't wanna use anything like vinegar or anything like that on your granite or on your stone. So after the surfaces are wiped and my sinks are clean, I like to take a little bit of alcohol on the microfiber cloth, and I like to just give a little polish to my faucets, and it's good because it sanitizes them and it keeps them nice and shiny. So now moving on to the toilet, I like to use a disinfectant wipe to clean this as well. I start from the top and then I work my way down to the bottom. And I also wipe down like around the base of the toilet as well with a disinfectant wipe. So now I take a paper towel and I just wipe down the top of the bowl and like this area, the lid top, and then that's really it. I let the rest of this kind of soak and air dry. So once that's dry, I move on to cleaning the inside of the bowl. I'm really liking this Clorox toilet wand that comes with these refills. It's super easy to use. You just take it and you pop it on, and then you can just start scrubbing. These are one-time use, so once you use them, you just throw them away, so it's super easy. Once I'm done there, I just leave the wand down like this, and I put the seat down. And I just like to let that air dry, so then once that's dry, I can easily throw it away and it's not dripping all over the place and making a mess. So before I go in with the Swiffer Sweeper Mop, I just like to take a little bit of all-purpose spray on either a paper towel or a rag, and I like to just go around the baseboard and give that a good wipe. I like to just make sure all the dust is kind of wiped away and the baseboard is clean. The antibacterial in the soap is good because it kind of keeps those germs down there at bay as well. So now to start mopping the floor, I'm using the Swiffer Sweeper Wet Mop. And these are super easy to use. You just wrap the wipe around the edges, and then you go ahead and just push your finger into these tabs, and it locks the wipe in place. While the floors continue to dry, I just like to take a little bit of my all-purpose spray, and I like to just give my cabinets a quick wipe. So now that the Kaboom is nice and soaked in, I'm gonna go in with the magic eraser and give the tub a really nice scrub. Put my mask back on. So I'm just using some rubbing alcohol here to shine the chrome and sanitize it. And I always wear either a pair of water shoes or a pair of flip-flops with non-slip bottoms. This way you're also protecting your feet from any of the chemicals. And I always make sure to give like the inserts that go onto the glass a really good scrub. When you're showering and there's moisture behind there, it can turn very yellow or mildew can start to grow. And then I just take some fresh water and rinse away all the chemicals, and then I shine the chrome with some rubbing alcohol. So now that the base of the shower is clean, I'm gonna move on to cleaning the tile. It is kind of wet right now, so if it does look kind of dark in the grout, it's because it's wet. It's not because it's like dirty or anything like that. While we're on the topic of grout, I like to use either like a magic eraser with some like Dawn dish soap, the blue kind, with a little bit of baking soda, and I kind of just scrub it in there. You can even use like a toothbrush to scrub it. Or you can use like hydrogen peroxide. That will get it nice and white and clean. So to clean the walls, just kind of where it gets wet and where there might be some like soap scum or some like shampoo or stuff like that that kind of gets on it, I am actually going to use my Swiffer Sweeper Mop. I find this easier than kind of bending over and, you know, hurting your back, that kind of thing. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier. I'm just gonna put one of the wet refills on the bottom of the mop. And I'm just concentrating it like where the water would hit and where like any soap might get. Another thing that's really great to use is the Clorox Tub and Tile Scrubber. It's super easy to use to get in there and clean the tile. Now I'm gonna move on to using some vinegar on the tile. This is really good for taking care of like soap scum and any mildew that can be forming. I also like to use vinegar every time after I shower. After we shower, we always spray down the shower with vinegar. We also spray down the glass. This just helps keep that soap scum at bay and helps to prevent any mildew from growing. Now in the shower, I do use pure white vinegar, so this is not diluted down or anything. Now there may be some areas in the shower, especially like in the deep dark corners where there's a lot of moisture. You might see some, pink mildew growing or even mold growing. Now, what I like to do is after I clean it at the end, so after everything's rinsed, I will go in with a bleach foamer like this one. This is the Clorox to take care of that mold because vinegar is not going to do it like the Clorox will. So now I'm going to move on to cleaning my shower glass. Once a month, I will use a product like Lime Away on the glass to tackle all of the hard water spots and the soap scum. I did that like 2 weeks ago, so for today we're just going to use the all-purpose spray on the glass to get the glass like really sudsy and soapy and kind of remove all that residue, and then we're going to follow that up with some vinegar to clean the glass. Now we have hard water here, so it is very challenging to keep the glass, free from those hard water spots. But what really helps is every time after you shower, if you have shower glass doors like these ones, is to pick up a squeegee and squeegee the glass every time you shower. That way it will be dried and there will be less likely a chance to have that water stain kind of develop on the surface. Another thing to use is a hand towel like these ones right after your shower. This way it will remove all the soap scum and the water and those hard water stains won't build up. So while that side's soaking in, I move on to cleaning the other door. And I hope you guys can see this okay. It's kind of hard to set up the camera and everything in such a tight, confined space. And I like to use the vinegar on the glass doors after because vinegar is acidic and it's really good for kind of getting rid of those hard water stains and soap scum. Now I'm gonna go in with the vinegar and clean the glass. And I forgot to mention, but I'm also using a microfiber cleaning cloth for this. I didn't mention this, but to clean my shelves, what I use is either Kaboom like cleaning spray, and I'll just take a sponge like this one on the back and I will give it a good scrub to kind of remove any of the buildup. So now I'm going to take a wet cloth and I'm going to wipe down all the tile and remove any of that extra vinegar. So the last thing I'm going to do in the shower today is give some of the spots where I'm seeing some mildew and mold growth, I'm going to spray it down with bleach. Typically it's just like in the bottom and in the corners. So I'm just going to let that kind of soak in before I go in and give it another wipe. So that concludes my typical bathroom cleaning routine. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you liked it. If you did like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I make new videos every week. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks. Bye guys.